This is the 2023 Civic Type R. It's finally here. We've been waiting for 5 years. Honda says it's the most powerful Type R ever.
But how does it compare to the previous car we loved so much? We're gonna show you everything.
We're gonna go over the engine, the interior, what it freaking looks like. This is everything you need to know to get bumper to bumper on the 2023 Civic Type R. I'm Nolan. Welcome to Donut. Thanks to Omaze for sponsoring today's video. Do you drive a supercar every day? Of course you don't. Why would you? But now you can, because Omaze is giving you the chance to win this 2022 McLaren GT with taxes and shipping included. It's the everyday supercar. Just go to omaze.com/donutmclaren to enter for your chance to win. The McLaren GT gives you long road trip comfort and the ability to go 0 to 60 in 3.1 seconds. It's got a twin turbocharged 4-liter V8 engine, a 7-speed dual clutch automatic transmission, and a top speed of 203 miles per hour. That makes doing your errands so much faster. Also, the turbo flutter sounds pretty choice. And what's even more super? Donations benefit the incredible Make-A-Wish Foundation. They make life-changing wishes for kids with critical illnesses a reality. Listen guys, this is a charity everyone can and should get behind. They are truly amazing with what they do. And this sweepstakes ends on July 22nd at 11:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so this is your last chance to help out. Head on over to omaze.com/donutmclaren today to enter for your chance to win, and use code DONUT100 for 100 bonus entries. So this is the current Civic Type R, and ever since I drove it shortly after it launched in 2017, it's been at the top of my attainable dream car list. This thing is so much fun to drive fast. Now, the honeymoon period is over, and there are some glaring issues with this thing. The sound system is kind of whack. The infotainment is just kind of dated looking. It just doesn't work as well as some other cars when you have to drive around town and put groceries in the back, navigate parking lots and be in traffic. You discover that it's not fun to drive slowly, which is what you're gonna be doing most of the time in this car. 24-year-old Nolan would probably slap me for saying this, but after spending some time with the Type R, I'm not sure I want one anymore. This was my dream car. You know, worked really hard on all these videos and got to a point where I could feasibly afford one of these things, and now I don't want it? What kind of bullshit is that? Oh great, you're supposed to get older and then you change? You learn things that change your perspective, and then just a constant cycle of learning and developing as a person? I'd be really surprised if the new Type R doesn't mature with the target audience. So let's see if it did. Come along, dear viewer, here it is. Looks good, doesn't it?
First impression, I am impressed. It's interesting that they've like dialed it back. The last iteration was like fun, but it was like video gamey. And this one is like very cool looking, well put together. It's like concise.
The previous Civic Type R, very angular car, looked like a Gundam's head, okay? This, a lot sleeker. All the sharp edges have been smoothed down. This thing is way more refined, and I think that has to do with the base Civic that it's based upon. The previous Civic that the FKA was based on was already angular enough as it was. It was already pretty controversial, whereas the Civic that this one is based on looks a lot better. So the Civic Type R is gonna look a lot better. Honda tells me that everything in front of the A-pillar on the Civic Type R is unique to the Civic Type R. So different hood, different fenders, certainly different bumper. There's no big plastic vents that aren't really vents anywhere. The only actual vents are right here, and they actually serve to cool the brakes. The huge mouth you see in the front actually feeds the huge intercooler sitting behind it. It's massive and it's front mounted. That's awesome. The Civic Type R is of course turbocharged, and turbos make a lot of heat. And to evacuate that heat, you do need some sort of hood venting, and Honda has added functional hood vent right here. It looks really good. It's not too in your face. I think that's kind of the prevailing theme of this car, is that everything that was so blown out and in your face in the previous one has been made more functional, made more mature, made more visually appealing. A good example of what I'm talking about is the rear wing. Previously, it was one piece. It was a one-piece design, super angular, really big, looked like something from Cars. Good job! But then we get to, on the new car here, the rear wing, subtle enough, you can tell that it produces downforce. It's painted black. It kind of blends in with the rear window a little bit. There's a diffuser, but also painted black again. It's just subtle enough without being completely plain, which I think is really cool. The wheel and tire situation, we got some in-house design and manufactured Honda wheels right here. I think they look pretty good. More interestingly though, is that the tire is the Michelin Pilot Sport 4S. Now these were on the previous limited edition Type R. That was a special feature of that car. And I can attest that it's a very sticky tire. We aren't allowed to drive this yet, but I'm sure that this thing is just a canyon monster. But what we can do is go inside and look at all the infotainment and everything inside. So let's go.
The seats are like so good. I would buy that as an office chair. That's so comfy.
Yeah, when's Herman Miller gonna make car seats? You know?
Dude. Not bad.
Ooh, yeah. All right, hey.
Oh, sorry.
I will turn this car around.
Sorry.
Right off the bat, this thing feels a lot more premium than the previous car, but it feels familiar. You know, you got your classic silver Type R shift knob. You know, the previous car had a pretty amazing shifter and transmission, and just from rowing the gears here in this hangar, it feels really great. Again, I guess I'll reserve my true judgments when we go drive it, but you can just tell. The previous car had a mix of touchscreen and buttons for climate control, whereas now the climate control is all these knobs right here. I don't know, these just feel great. They've got a nice little crisp snap to them. I love these knobs. I think it's always better to have knobs for climate control than touchscreen. We tested the speakers in this thing. It's got a new Bose sound system, and it sounds awesome.
Oh, yeah, dude.
It's got a lot of punch. It sounds really good, especially when listening to Tesseract. There's a cool volume knob right here. I remember the first Type Rs that came out, the first FK8s, they didn't have a volume knob until 2019. I'm an old man, I need a volume knob. In the same way that the exterior has matured, so has the interior, you know? Let's be honest, there's gonna probably be dealer markups on these things. When you put down big money on a new car, you want it to feel like a new car, and this certainly feels premium in here. It feels like a sports car. The dash is lovely to look at. The seats are super comfy. It feels good in here. Would really like to drive it. Let's talk about the most important part of the Type R, the engine.
They're not telling us too much, but here's what we know. It's a 2-liter turbocharged engine, and it makes more horsepower than the last one. The last one made what, 306?
306, that's
so
right.
more than 306.
They said way more.
Oh, they said
way more, yeah.
Ooh.
We won't really know what the actual power figure is for a while. They're keeping it under wraps. I think the engine cover looks pretty cool. Got that iconic Honda valve cover there.
Yeah, it is nice looking, that's for sure.
It looks awesome.
On the intake here, where the air goes into the turbo, we've got this box. I'm really not sure what that's doing. I'm interested to find out what's under that lid, but thought that was interesting. And also you can see that the turbo is directly mounted to the head of the engine, which means the exhaust collector is integrated into the head. That offers a few benefits efficiency-wise and power-wise. So that's pretty cool, and probably helps them make more power than any Type R ever.
So that's kind of all we know about the engine. We don't really know what it sounds like either, and unfortunately we can't drive it. But I'm sure that this thing will be a beast on the road like the last one was, especially if it's got the most power of any Type R. So that's pretty sweet.
No power, baby.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Job, how much power do you think it's gonna
I'm guessing 338 whopping horsepower.
I'm gonna guess 346, James?
860.
860.
Whoa, dude.
So let us know how much power you think it's gonna make down in the comments. This is definitely not the last video we'll be making with this thing. Hopefully next time we see it, we'll be behind the wheel. So thank you very much for joining us on this awesome little look at the new Civic Type R.
Hit that subscribe button. We upload multiple times a week. Follow Nolan at Nolan J. Sykes. Follow Zach at Zach Job. Follow me at James Humphrey. Go pick up a camera and a wrench. Hang out with your frongs.